Hey guys, G here again with a bit of an update on the Mirage. I've got a lot done since the last video. It's been a bit busy over Christmas and that, so just knuckled down and got into it. Alright. So, started doing the wiring. It's everything I've cut out of the body loom. I've cobbled together. But she starts now and idles and that. One of the other big jobs on the list was the fuel system. And I'll show you the issues that I had before when I went to put fuel on it. At the wreckers, they put a big hole in the fuel tank. So I spent a couple of hours trying to patch that up and make that all work. And my first attempt didn't work and leaked everywhere. But as I might have explained before, the 380 engine has a returnless fuel system, so you don't have a return on the rail. So to get around that, with an aftermarket fuel reg off eBay, plumbed it all in. So basically you got your feed that comes out of the pump, goes directly into the rail, then you tee off that into the regulator, into the return, which makes it the returnless fuel system have a return in it. Not the best for a turbo setup, but works fine for this. As you can see, the two large holes from the wreckers draining the fuel that I now have to repair. The original fuel pump I'm replacing with an old one I had out of my old WRX. Also, make sure you put metho in the tank after emptying the water out, so if there is any leftover residue in there, it will mix with the metho, allowing it to burn in the cylinders. It's an old boaty trick that someone taught me. All filled with fuel and no leaks. As you can see here, the next problem with the exhaust is the flange for the outlet points upwards, and I needed it to point straight towards the back of the car, so some modification is required. As you can see here, I've just welded the old resonator onto a part of the exhaust system just to quieten it down to start with. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a side pipe yet, but we'll see. So the other issue, well, it wasn't really an issue, was the front suspension. I was a bit worried about how soft the standard springs would handle the weight of the bigger engine, and the shocks were leaking. So I have sold the 380 for 300 bucks, which sort of gave me a bit more money in the budget. So I know it's not technically a performance upgrade, might be a safety thing, but I did get some awesome max speeding rods, coilovers, for the sum of $300 off eBay, but they're to suit a later model Lancer. But the cool thing about them is they bolt directly up to the factory hubs on the 380 on the front, and then they have the same bolt locations for the Mirage, so pretty well bolt in. And then I've got the camber tops to dial the camber in and out. As you can see, they bolt straight into the factory location, no dramas. But the rears, as you can see, I've also got the 380 wheels to fit with the help of a friend that's made me some spaces to convert from 4 to 5 stud. The rear coilovers were extremely short in comparison to the original Mirage ones, so I had to get a little bit creative to make them fit. So I'll get underneath and I'll show you. As you can see, I've made them work. I've made myself some adjusters, and what I've done is I've bolted through the factory location. I've also welded to stop them falling over. Then I've also welded a plate in the top and used a bolt to locate it all, so that's not going anywhere. And then I can adjust them up and down to suit the height. And I also have the thread adjusters on the coilovers as well. So jobs left to do. The wiring's just been started basically. I still need to mount the computers. Got a bit of an idea, work out where I'm going to get the battery to fit in this car, tidy all the rest of the wiring up. Obviously, radiator and thermofans have to go on. Drive belt setup, not 100% sure what I'm going to do there, if I'm going to delete the aircon and run a shorter belt, or just put the compressor back on for now and send it. But rear mount's all done too now, so she's all ready to go.